part of your project goes. I'm going to pass out one of these. This is kind of your next step in terms of your big overall project. And so you really only need one storyboard, which is what I have up here, and we'll talk about it in just a second. So you guys are in a group. You guys a group?
Yeah. Oh.
Where will this stand?
Okay. You guys all together though? And then you ladies together? There's one for you guys. So on Monday, Matt, with the sub, what you guys should have been doing is working on putting some of the basic information about your element onto your wiki. So you should have some information there. I've checked a lot of people's already. You should have atomic number, atomic mass, some of the basic physical and chemical properties. You should also have some of the history, hopefully, starting to unravel in terms of when was it discovered, how was it discovered, who discovered it, so on and so forth. The next major step is for you guys to develop a plan of action for your video. And I don't want for it to be just this haphazard thing that you go out and throw together a video at the last minute. That's not the idea. Part of the recommendations by the Chem Heritage Foundation, one of the things that they're judging you guys on is looking at the fact that they can tell that you had a thoughtful plan embedded in your video. So in order to do that, one of the things I think is helpful is to put your ideas down on what's called a storyboard. You guys used these before?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of? Okay. So the idea here, and again, you have to be careful. You don't want to have like a whole bunch of these filled out. You don't want to have pages and pages and pages of it, because that just means that it's more work for you. You can get across the same amount of information maybe in fewer scenes, or however you want to look at it. So, for example, this is your opening scene right here, right? So maybe you have your opening scene, and this is where you start to brainstorm with your people in your group. But you can brainstorm ideas, fade into scene, which is, mountains and a gold miner, or a miner, whatever. Okay, so maybe that's the first scene. You have somebody dressed up, so on and so forth. This little square over here I put just so that you guys can kind of have an idea of how long you think that footage is going to take you. Because remember, your whole thing has to be 3 to 5 minutes in length. So you need to have a plan, right? So if this scene may take 30 seconds, but think about all the stuff that's going to go into planning for this. So this is also space for you to make a sketch. Maybe you have the mountains in the background. You've got a river, and maybe you want to have a guy, one of your group members panning for gold in the river. And that's going to be your first scene, right? You also want to make a list of everything that you would need in order to carry out that particular scene. Costumes, camera, maybe you want to have a sunny day. Anything and everything that would pertain to this scene needs to be in here. Then you move on to scene 2. What do you want the next thing to be? So maybe the next one is, you've got this guy on a horse. Wow, really bad horse, sorry. But maybe you got the guy sitting on a horse, and maybe that's the next scene. And again, you would have your list, and then maybe this is only going to be 10 seconds of your scene. You guys have to really think about how long or short some of this might be. But again, it has to add up to a total of 3 to 5 minutes. So the storyboard, one group has a copy, and I'm also putting it, if I haven't already done so, on the wiki, so that everybody can have this in their possession. And again, use your wiki to correspond with your group members, because that's not what we're going to be doing today. This is not what we're doing today, unless we have time, which we'll see if we have time. Okay? Any questions about this? How many of you feel like you have some beginning ideas? Maybe you don't have the whole thing planned out, but your group's talked a little bit? A little bit? beginning of next week so that you guys can start to get some of this down on paper. But start thinking about it, because this is what I have to have you do. Before you ever go make any video, I'd like to see this storyboard. Okay. All right. Thank you.